All right, you're going to learn how to make a animation using Google Slides. So here are some examples of what have been made in the past. When something animates, it moves, it turns, it grows, the design can change colors, the design can explode. You can tell a story with your animation. So the student decided to animate the game Pong. And every movement you see was an individual slide that was created. Your assignment needs to have minimum 40 slides to the animation. This Pong animation had 116 slides, which made it so much longer than the rest of the ones that you're going to see. Shapes are the basic place to start. It's the easiest place to begin to animate. If you want to have a photograph in the background, that's perfectly fine. It's okay to have a sense of humor, but everything you make must be school appropriate. You can have text. You can animate your own drawing. So that is some examples of what's possible to create. Again, these examples were just quick, short animations, but I expect yours to be much longer in length. All right, we are going to learn how to make a quick computer animation. So this is demonstrating how you can make computer animation using Google Slides. So I'm going to show you how you can use that internet program that's free to create your own animation. This is just the very basics of animating something. So the first thing you're going to want to do is click on the edge of the box and then select that and then do delete. Click on the edge of the text box and delete. So you have a plain white screen. Then you're going to basically be drawing with different shapes, and you have to visualize what the animation is going to look like. Do you want it to just flash colors? Do you want your shape to move and bounce around the screen? Because that's going to determine where you start this. So the shape button looks like the circle with the square behind it. You're going to click that. And then you can hover over any of these four options to see the different shapes that you have to work with. And you can change the shapes out. You can work with just one. It's really up to your own imagination to visualize what this is going to look like. So I'm going to start with the star shape. And then you're going to have to click and drag to create your star size. So then once you have that drawn, you can move that later on. If you don't like the placement, just get the crossbar mouse, and then you can see you can drag that and place that where you want it to be. So you have to visualize where you want your animation to start. And I think I'm going to make my star spin and move around this box. So now I can fill in all these color choices. So this paint bucket is your fill color. That's going to let you pick what color you want. You could choose any of these presets, or you could go to gradient and see what those options are. So I'm going to start with a red because I'm going to go through the colors of the rainbow is my plan. Then if you want your shape to have an outline, the border color is going to let you outline your shape with a particular color. So maybe I do, let's see, I might do a black outline. The next one over determines how thick your outline is. So now I've got a really thick outline. Now it becomes smaller. Then you can play with these settings. If you want dashes or dots, that's fine too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is click off the image, and then I'm going to set my background color. So I'm going to click background. And you could choose an image that you can save from the internet, but I'm just going to work with a solid color just to keep it simple, or I could pick a gradient if I want. So maybe I try this gradient and then click done. Okay, so the key to making this animate, now you're going to be changing your shape's location or size or color to create the movement. And you can keep the shape the same, or you can introduce new shapes as you go. And you can start with one shape and keep it simple, or you can add shapes to the design as you proceed. So the key to animating is that you make subtle movements. So not drastic movements, but just small, subtle ones at a time. So what I want to do is right-click the slide, and choose Duplicate Slide. So now it's going to give me an exact copy of what was here before. So now on slide 2, I'm going to want to move that a little bit, and you can see the placement and where it's going to change. And you could leave the colors the same, or you could grow the shape. Control Z is undo. You can change the colors if you want. So for me, mine's going to rotate through the rainbow. So now I'm going to go to a red star, and I want my stars to spin. So this little blue dot, I'm going to grab, click and hold, and I'm going to turn that just a little bit. And now I'm done with that slide. So now I'm going to right click, slide 2, duplicate. It's going to match that exact same slide twice, but now on slide 3, I'm going to repeat that process where I'm going to click and drag, do a little bit of a movement in the direction I want my animation to go. I'm going to rotate my star a little bit, and then I'm going to change my fill color to yellow because mine's going to twist through the rainbow, and I'm going to repeat that. Right click, duplicate. I'm going to move that a little bit. I'm going to spin that a little bit. I'm going to change that to green, and I'm going to work my way repeating this until I've got my animation built. Okay, so I want it to kind of bounce off the bottom edge of the screen down here. So I might do one more move, rotate it a little bit, and I'm going to go back to red. And then I'm going to proceed to now turn it and move it towards the other wall. So now maybe it spins the other way. Okay, so then I can introduce new shapes, new colors. I forgot to change this color. So it's nice because you can go backwards. So I forgot to change this one yellow, so I'm going to go back to slide 10, change that yellow, make slide 11, click on the image, go back to green. Then I'm going to duplicate. All right, so now what I'm going to do when I get this slide over to this side of my screen, when I hit that screen edge over here, I'm going to make it look like it bursts into a bunch of smaller squares. Okay, so now I'm going to move this one more time to hit this edge over here. Turn that a little bit more. Okay. So now when it hits, it's going to burst into lots of different stars. So now I'm going to add, on this slide, more stars, where I'm going to click and drag and then add another one. Now, if I want the exact same thing, I could just Control C for copy, Control V for paste, and V. We'll keep pasting a whole bunch of them, and then I can change those sizes as I go. So I want it to look like there's a bunch of stars that have now exploded. Okay, play with those placements, and I might copy some more and change their size. I'm going to play with their color. And turn some so they're not all in the exact same position. So if I want these to all explode red, might be able to do this all at one time. If you hold down Control, let's see what happens. Yes, that works. If you click one, hold Control, click on the others. If you want them all to be the same color, then you can fill them all red at the same time. Okay, so this is my plan. All right, so now to test this out, you can click on slide number 1 and then just down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, and watch it turn and go. So that's enough to demo for now. Okay, another thing you can do is if you click present, and then you can click the play button here, and then arrow, arrow, arrow to see what that's going to look like in the end. Okay, when you're finished and you're ready to publish this, you're going to go File, Publish to the Web. Then you want to change this to every second so it flashes quickly, and you want to check these 2 options so that it starts immediately and loops. Then you're going to click Publish and then OK. So now what you have is a web link that you can copy, Control-C, go to a new blank website, paste that in there, and now your animation is just automatically going to start and spin and move